Wonder what we'll find in here. Apart from cultists, most likely.
If I ever manage to make it out of this barrel!
Sounds like he's fighting for his life in there.
Oh! Now? You asking me that now? Sure, whatever. Take it. Just be mindful what you touch after. Might have Zeranium on it. And if you don't return it, I'll slap you silly with my Zeranium-covered hands. But until then, leave me and my burning bits alone!
When all is consumed, all will become.
Console ahead. What's the play, Commander?
Let's skip the diplomacy!
Let me out of here! Hard bargain. Still got to put my odds for a walk door.
I'll take care of him. Nobody around. Over here! Three hole in the head! Come at me. Not walking this off. Stand me back up. You had my back. The idea is to kill them before you die. Not getting up without help, Commander.
Anyone else? Here, a medic! Back in. Little pick-me-up for you. Back in business. Popping my claw. My claws are always crabby.
had my back. Let's dispense with the how do you do.
Fight on my feet. Back in. Medical pack, out!
Let me know when you needed a stretch. Then dig me in. Help me out. Knew you had my back. Hey, got a distraction for you. You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter.
Release me now, you traitor! Let me out! Out there, anyone who frees me! The risk will die horribly, I promise you that! Let me out of here! I'm here at the behest of the exalted leader. You betrayed the glorious dawn. Out there, anyone who frees me. The rest will die horribly, I promise you that. Hey, you! Let me out of here! I'm here at the behest of the exalted leader. You betrayed the
Architect's balls! That was some fine killing! Would have preferred you'd left one or two of those traitorous miscreants for me to sharpen my blade on, but no matter. Serves me right trying to help those sorely lacking in the gray matter. But they rightly paid for their transgression. Betraying someone sent by the exalted leader of the glorious dawn herself warrants a painful death. Name's Azza. You are? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts, despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. The rifts only seem destructive because we are looking at them from the point of view of imperfect, mortal bodies. To be deconstructed by a rift is to be reborn in perfection. The rifts are a device of the architect to hasten humankind's perfection. They reduce whatever comes into contact with them to mathematically perfect information. We are nothing but that information, but we cannot see that because we exist in a chaotic and disordered reality. The universe is decaying, and our efforts to manage it are futile. The rifts are a perfectly ordered phase of existence. No chaos, no striving, no suffering. Peace and unity with the architect themselves. None whatsoever. All I know is that they were planning on killing me by filling my room with xeranium gas. I was here to help them scavenge for old order technology to further investigate the wonder of the rifts. There is one other thing. I have similar business at the N-ray range. These fools were only part of the contingent that betrayed me. I aim to see them pay the same price, though maybe with more disemboweling. Your violent tendencies could be of great help to me there, as I'm sure mine could be of service to you. If you deign to take me on, of course. Nothing that will live to regret, but it seems like you've already a full contingent with you.
If you're sure, Commander. But I'd watch myself around this one.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go kill us some traitors. I can't believe I'm surrounded by idiots. Not you, I mean the other idiots. They betrayed me. They betrayed the Dawn. They need to die. What more is there to know? Who can say what drives those who have clearly lost their minds?
I ain't got anything nice to say here. You take this one.
It will be for the swine who betrayed me. Oh, you mean the range itself? It's a site for developing and testing N-ray technology. N-rays can be deadly once processed, and they should be fairly contained, though I wouldn't put it past those fools to have meddled with things beyond their comprehension. I just hope they haven't all gotten themselves killed before I've had a go at them. I've nothing but disgust for your corporate overlords. At least the invasion stirred up some much-needed chaos in Arcadia.
Have I mentioned that I got no interest in your opinions of my overlords?
We can always talk about you then. Like how you were the victim of corporate greed and hubris.
Reckon I wasn't clear. I got no interest in your opinions about anything.
Initiate Carrington, audio log entry, 10. My orders were to watch for the enemy. Specifically, to never break line of sight to my assigned field of view. But I can hear them advancing along the shore to the south. It's fine. Others have been assigned that field of vision. This is the most efficient method of defense. Architect, they're getting closer. Perhaps I'm taking my orders too literally? I'll just tweak it. No. Trust in the equation. Trust in those greater than I in the order. I will keep looking forward for enemies from that vector. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I have faith that the architect...
This one appears to have been too terrified to even look at us. I almost feel bad killing him. Almost.
That's the range, Commander. Oh, this will be glorious. Hope my enthusiasm doesn't get the better of me. Those traitors need to suffer.
Armed and ready.
Good weapon primed!
Damn it all! The door's sealed. We'll need to find another way in. Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these traitorous fools, I'd be forced to use one or two as an example to the rest.
Fingers of yours. Bring them close so we can chop them off.
Stop your silliness, fool. The only ones losing body parts around here today are you and your traitorous friends.
.36 cubed, divided by the standard rate of fluid flow, and then you multiply by, is it 30 or, oh, hello.
Look at the state of this poor fool. They just left her bleeding out? Exsanguination is an art. Where's the precision, the pride in their work? This is just embarrassing.
There's a cultist behind you. Wait, surely she isn't with you. Fine. Just please keep her away from me. Architect's mercy, thank you. It is so much easier to be polite when I needn't fear all of my bones sliding out of my body. Oh, dear Archivist Clemens has been so strange lately. So distant, so agitated. And not his normal agitation, mind you. This is something different. Much worse. He's like a wire stretched beyond its breaking point. Never a harsh word to anyone, but being in his presence, well, it's as if his strength deemed to be of the utmost importance. Either he is still below, continuing said work, or he is quite dead. And with all those cultists gallivanting about, I don't fancy his odds.
Please, with the way my so-called brethren are comporting themselves, he's more likely to die of boredom. If I was in charge here, all of you'd be dead. He soon will be.
Yes. I'm sure you'll kill them quite well. The crazed cultist, people like your friend here have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient. These cultists broke in from above and immediately set about damaging what they could. I don't know the specifics, just that they can't be seen through normal means.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We have an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate. The scanner is an optical device designed to detect electrical signals and the N-rays given off by all living beings. Visible or not, the cultists still give off N-rays. It was stored nearby. But with the damage to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it. Oh, there's no such thing as invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening.
Fear not, my brethren. The eyes of the unworthy cannot behold our transcendent forms.
There.
Not all is conceived, all will be accomplished. The rift is my
Convoluted way to unlock a door, but I'll take it.
You've opened the way forward. Very good work.
That's a Glorious Dawn communication device. Our cells use them to send and receive encrypted messages. Where are you going? I suppose you know what you are doing, but we'll need to return eventually to finish this lot off.
You there, you must leave. Is that a cultist with you?
Don't worry. I'm not like these idiots running around here haplessly. If I was here to kill you, it would be no random thing. You'd know it. Are we here to kill this guy, Commander?
You're here to stop me. But if I'm stopped, the consequences will be exponential. Oh, I don't expect people like you or Augustine to understand. My work is humane and must be finished. All else is secondary. You must remove yourself from the range. I don't want your blood on my hands, but I will spill it if you force me. No, don't you understand? If my work is forestalled in any way, so many more will suffer. And I am already much too far behind. I have been forced to enact measures for self-defense in the wake of these cultists. They will serve just as effectively against you. I beg you, leave immediately. Remain, and you will assuredly suffer a violent demise.
I appreciate your help. Dying makes it so difficult to... Victor, I fully understand the importance of your work. This is exactly why I push you so. Your moral justifications for delaying your delivery are misguided. Dead is dead. What matter is it if their ends come in 1 minute or 3? If you seek to be humane in your duties, fine. So long as I get the explosives in time. But if we fail to act, the order will be lost forever. Collateral damage was always inevitable, Victor. You knew this. And the longer you take in your laboratory, the greater your risk of being caught becomes. If that happens, you know what must be done. But I should remind you that such a failure will result in vastly more suffering for all parties involved. We need those explosives now, Victor. Let's finish this. Victor, I fully... Dead it... But if we... And the longer you... But...
archive transcription number 3918-4 ends here.
As determined, you're listening to Grand.
Look at the sad little sprat. His corrugated metal cage.
You, friend of friends, are a greater ally than any number of fellow scienticians. Oh, thank you very, very much for dealing with those cult... it seems you missed one.
What? Where? I thought we dispatched with all of those traitorous charlatans.
I can see it would be best for me to tactically overlook your comrade. Very well. I see you possess our N-ray scanner. Ooh, ingenious device. If I'd had it, I may have evaded being trapped here. Oh, I shouldn't have had to worry. Damn that Victor, and damn his hubris. Fitting that his experiment would cause so much strife, that he would be untouched by the ensuing pandemonium. Pardon my excitement. It's been an eventful day. I don't know the specifics, only that Victor was performing a procedure utilizing processed N-rays. When those cultists flooded the range, they damaged the N-ray canisters. In the ensuing chaos, Victor's experiment was destroyed. I know some cultists were killed, but many more still live, moving unseen through the range. Because he refused to follow procedure. He didn't take an assistant or allow anyone to see his data, and now it's all consigned to oblivion. What a waste. There's no such thing as invisibility. The cultists are out of phase. Also, I strongly recommend against exposing yourself to processed N-rays. Most of the cultists died immediately upon exposure, and according to past experiments, those that haven't are experiencing accelerated organ liquefaction. But if you're not attached to the solid state of your organs, I suppose it might be nice to be less visible for a few hours. Although it requires further investigation and experimentation, out of phase refers to a shift in the dimensional presence of these cultists. They are physically here, but only partially, hence their unseen state. It's fascinating. But the outstanding fear for my life has made it difficult to think scientifically. Oh, believe me, this is more excitement than I ever wanted. I shall.
to approach my holdout. I once again ask you to stop. The path ahead is filled with unseen traps. Whether cultist or wayward scientist, you will be killed. I cannot afford your interruption. Once more, please cease. I never wanted this situation to escalate like this. You must understand. But now, all that I wanted is cast to the wind. There is but one option left to me. To save Arcadia, to ensure the future, we must both die. I was warned that you would attempt to. You would use subterfuge to sway me. I cannot allow this. I cannot allow our efforts to be in vain. If DeVries does not receive my explosive, she will resort to a violent assault. Many will die, pointlessly, and in agony. I can at least deliver them an instant, painless death. I thought this explosive vest would be an unnecessary precaution. All I can hope is that by blasting us both from the field of play, the Order shall find its way to truth. Want has nothing to do with it. I have very specific instructions on how to proceed in the face of contingencies such as yourself. And you cannot possibly understand whether I am or am not capable of martyrdom. You do not know my depth of character. At the end of all things, my decisions were predestined. I am not at liberty to divulge the reasoning behind my actions. You're not with the Order. You cannot understand why this would be. Could I explain, the words would be lost on you. Your verbiage does not conceal the gaps in your knowledge. But the presiding bishop has taught us that ignorance is not a punishable sin. If the Order is not prevented from reaching its true potential and solves the universal equation, all scientific uncertainty and any associated suffering will end. If what you say is true, then you have my tentative thanks. However, scientific certainty would absolutely have prevented that from happening. We would have predicted it. DeVries opened my eyes. The Order is on the path to absolute truth. And if they are not interrupted, this truth can be pursued. The one right path for humanity revealed to us. Politics cannot bind us. Uncertainty cannot strangle. And no one can be allowed to waltz in and hurl our plans into disarray. What? How do you not understand the present situation? What coward would strap an explosive device to himself? No, that's not all this. Helping DeVries, completing the work on my explosives is important. It matters. DeVries agrees. Augustine couldn't have done such a thing. She was on a secret mission at the time. I don't wish to believe you, but what you're saying has the ring of truth to it. I've been a fool going along with this farce. But it stops now. My relationship with Augustine is at an end.
This poor fool seemed intent on doing himself and us both. Impressive work convincing him otherwise. What say I have a go at him with my disemboweling knife? See what he knows. Your loss. Don't like to boast, but I am quite the artiste with a knife.
I believe that's another thanks I owe you. You certainly keep interesting company. I found a way to, via the use of processed N-rays, send objects out of phase. It was inconsistent, but I was close to isolating the procedure. DeVries needed explosives for her plan. By making them unseen, the explosives could be placed as efficiently as possible. No one would be maimed or injured, just killed. Saying that out loud now, it sounds unreal. But somehow, I convinced myself that leaving no survivors was more humane. It's a shame I can't speak to a vicar. Here, it is the key to my quarters. Take whatever you find. That will ensure that I cannot use any of it to further DeVries' aims, even if I wanted to. I appreciate your consideration. Things could have been very different had your cooler head not prevailed. You've certainly convinced me I cannot remain here. May we meet again, when the paths of our lives are at greater apexes.
damn it! We've killed every traitor in this place, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch wasn't among them. The leader of a cell. In this case, that would be Ziegler. And extinguishing him is obviously our next priority. They were operating under his orders. But since he wasn't here to lead them in person, they would have maintained regular contact using one of our communication devices. We should return to the one we saw earlier. It will hopefully yield some worthwhile information. This is it, the Dawn's communication device. Let's see what I can find on it. Not much, but there are a few encrypted messages from Ziegler reporting on a rift in Paradise Island he was sent to study. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways. I'm right behind you, but not in a threatening way.
Something that would never happen with the Order, where our predictions help guide our people's lives with peak efficiency, from cradle to grave.
Vara, you owe me a sparring session. Get your gloves and warm up.
What? Again? I don't suppose you'd accept a doctor's oath for Val.
Come on. I already promised I won't throw elbows this time. Where's your fighting spirit?
Must have had it knocked clean out of me. In fact, why don't I go look for it now?
Ain't gonna climb the corporate ladder with that attitude. You could just learn to duck, you know.
Victor wasn't exactly the partner in crime I envisioned DeVries to have. Someone with a little more grit. That man back there? Reckon a tough crossword puzzle would have eventually sent him over the edge, even if we hadn't come along. I'm glad we were able to show him a little grace. DeVries obviously manipulated him into acting against his conscience. Ever wonder what might have happened if DeVries had let us in on her initial plan? Surely we wouldn't have been taken in by her rhetoric like Victor. Right? Hotshot Earth Directorate agent swoops in to liberate your colony, sets you on a new exciting path, and you're telling me you wouldn't have been a bit smitten? No, yeah, of course. Stupid question. It's just, I look at someone like Victor and see the trap I might have fallen into. True, but DeVries is still DeVries. She's good at deconstructing folks, uncovering their points of failure. She'd have known I had my heart set on being a hero. After Triangulum, all I wanted was to do for other colonies what Augustine had done for mine. Still do, if I'm honest. I will say, it's a lot easier to do just that nowadays. With you around, that is. Thanks for letting me wax for a bit. We can get back to what we were doing now. Unless there was something else you needed.
killing these traitors was invigorating, but their leader still needs to be dealt with. That I'm really going to enjoy.
Why are you still alive? There's been some ghastly mistake. We must speak on the latest revelation before you compound it by killing me. You're obviously unaware that you've been officially marked for death. Otherwise, you'd have killed yourself and saved us all the trouble. It's unfortunate I was unable to inform you of this before you killed so many loyal members of the Dawn. But so be it. Glad we were able to clarify all of that. Well?
I'm thinking I'd normally just kill this idiot where he stands, but I must know what in the architect's name he's going on about. Ziegler, what's got into your brain pan? You used to be a dedicated member of the Dawn. How could you think there was a legitimate kill order on me?
You were revealed as a betrayer through the sanctified channel. How can you disobey a revelation from on high, when you yourself exhorted us constantly to never do such?
You make a compelling point. But then again, so does my knife. Let me introduce you to it. Why the fuck not? Hierarch Ziegler was saying. How could there be an official kill order out on me? The poor fools probably thought they were just fulfilling their duty. Of course not. What a ridiculous question. You think that I'm like you, but I'm no longer bound by social restraints or pedestrian things like regret. So were I even to imply I felt remorse, that I wish I'd perhaps approached this with a more logical bent and not slaughtered these loyal Dawn members, it would mean nothing. If only it were that simple. It should be impossible for someone to infiltrate our communication systems, especially when it comes to a high-level communique. Unless they somehow have our codes. This could only mean that one of our members has been compromised. Damn straight they should have. I have no idea. If I go anywhere near one of our encampments, I'll be forced to kill members who believe they're following orders. Of course, any member of the Dawn who turns on me without thinking is asking for death, but this could still make solving this even more difficult. Don't worry. I'll stay on as part of your crew until I get this all figured. It's given me an impressive amount of opportunities for killing, and all the killing helps me think.